Am I the asshole? For telling my daughter to either learn to share, pay up, or move out. My F47 daughter is still living at home since she graduated this spring. We are fine with it because she can save money up from her first real job. It is tough out there, so we are trying to help her out as much as we can. The conflict that has arisen is that she is very possessive of food and drinks that she buys for herself. Not like restaurant leftovers or anything. That's obviously hers. But she will buy soda or cheese or sandwich meat. And she will get mad if anyone else eats or drinks it. If she was buying all her own food I would understand, but she isn't. She still eats the food that my husband and I buy for the house. So she has no problem eating out food, but God forbid we touch hers. The last straw was last night. Her dad made himself a drink and used one of her tonic waters. She got upset that he drank her stuff. He apologized, but I had enough. I gave her 3 options. Either she start buying all her own food which she can label and keep in the fridge, freezer, and pantry. I will make sure neither her father and I or her brothers touch it. She can learn to share and appreciate the fact we are still feeding and housing her for free. Or she can move out. She started crying that I was throwing her out for being upset that someone stole her food. I just told her that she had a week to decide. Her dad says I'm being rough on her and that she buys herself treats that are not stuff I buy all the time. And that may be so, but I still see her eating the groceries I buy for the house and not contributing. Not the asshole. Those are all very fair options. Not the asshole. She's 22 years old and crying over water. She needs to learn to pick her battles. Not the asshole. She can buy a mini fridge and keep it in her room, keep all her own foodstuffs for herself. Barring a medical condition where she needs this food specifically for her, she's acting like a spoilt child. If she wants to be treated like a housemate, she can pay rent. Not the asshole. An adult living in their parents' house for free, eating parents' food and getting angry at her dad for using the water she bought. That's beyond infantile. She should have offered to pay at least some small money the moment she got the job. Instead, she is acting like a primary school kid. Your options are fair, it's time to grow up. My oldest had a mini fridge which has now been passed down to my middle. Anything she paid for with her own money went in there. She had her own stash. This system worked out beautifully. I recommend you tell your daughter to get her own mini fridge. Option 4 is obviously she contributes more to general groceries so you don't get mad, OP, and she keeps her treat food elsewhere that's separate in her room so no one else takes it so she doesn't get mad. Not the asshole, too rough on her. She either lacks significant awareness of your extensive kindness or she's selfish. Who complains when they have access to a free bounty of food and free housing? These options sound reasonable to me. Not the asshole. In our house we have normal foods and treats. Normal foods are what goes into meals and are shared by all. Treats that we have purchased for ourselves are sacred. They are labeled, kept in our room, warned off. We know that we don't touch anyone else's treats without permission. If uncertain, we ask, is this up for grabs? Info. Do you do shared groceries in general, or is it everyone for themselves? Does she have the opportunity to add essentials like soda, cheese, sandwich meat to the household shopping list? Have you ever talked to her about this before? Info. If her restaurant leftovers are obviously hers, why aren't food and drinks that she specifically buys for herself from the grocery store? Info. I really think context is important. Is she buying special food only she can eat and you are eating anyway? AKA vegan, gluten-free, etc. Because that's been an "am I the asshole?" story a couple of times. How much are you all eating food and drinks she gets for herself? Because it vaguely reminds me of an "am I the asshole?" where the poster was buying drinks she never got to drink and food she never got to eat. Breaking down and crying over a tonic water sounds like she's had a household eating all her treat food. Americans are weird. These family dynamics are bizarre. Very self-serving and divided point of views. Most other countries' families live together for years and share and get along. Info. If she bought something and asked you not to eat it, and you ate it, then you were out of line. If she bought groceries and put them in your shared fridge without a note or word and you ate them not knowing that she wanted it for something, then you did nothing wrong. It's fine for you to ask her to contribute to the family, but bringing it up in the middle of an argument isn't the right way to approach it. AITA. It's not sharing if you take stuff with who asking. If you want her to contribute, just say so. Don't steal her stuff and act like it's okay because you don't charge her rent. I think you might be TA here. If these are your daughter's snacks, then that's different than a side of beef and a sack of potatoes. Can your daughter have a small dorm-size fridge in her bedroom where she can keep her sodas and snacks? And can you all agree not to touch her stuff? At the same time, can she be gracious, and if asked, could she share a soda once in a while? If so to all of the above, then FFS, no need to kick anyone out. I don't think it's necessary to force your 22-year-old daughter to share her small stash of snacks while she's getting on her feet after college. Info. Is she buying items that you don't buy for the household? If so, then those items sound like something she treats herself with. The whole point of her living there is to save money. Then you complain when you buy the food and she eats it. I'm so confused. You are letting her save money by buying food for her, not asking for rent, etc. That's why she's there. Let's say you went out and bought your favorite snack, but it had to be refrigerated. You spent like $20 on it. While you're at work, you're thinking about how you can't wait to have it. You finally get home after a long day at work, and someone ate. You would be so angry. You're part hypocrite, and whoever ate the food is the asshole. You're the asshole. This is simply about respecting someone's property. Question. Does she buy the meat and cheese to pack her lunches for work? I might be annoyed if I plan to make my lunches instead of buying lunch and someone ate my food. Not the asshole. She is an adult in a shared house. If she wants to act like that, then she can use one of your choices. Do you just replace what was eaten on the next shopping trip? When this kind of fight starts, it is usually the perfect sign it is time to move out for the grown-up children. My grown daughter shares my house. The only way that it works is for you to ask before taking something that you know that you didn't buy. It's fucking food. IMO, not a hill to die on. Yikes. If she's spending her own money to buy special things you won't buy for her, why is she wrong for being upset that others are taking it? I get being annoyed if she's being ungrateful that you're covering basics, but it seems fair to me that she can be annoyed if you're unwilling to buy special stuff and others in your household are depending on her to buy them instead. Yeah, meaning towards you're the asshole here. Going with you're the asshole here. If she's buying stuff specifically for her, and others are taking it without asking, then yeah, she has a right to be pissed. In my opinion, stuff that parents buy for their household should be fair game, as that's just how life works, no matter the age of the children. It's just supporting them to me. I've always found it strange how there are parents out there that force their kids to pay rent and pay for their own food as soon as they turn 18, as an example. Are you still claiming her as a dependent on your taxes? Not the asshole, these are reasonable. Not the asshole. What you said was reasonable. It would be different if she was buying all her food and people were eating it. It sounds like she is continuing to be treated like a child when she is an adult. She is acting like a 14-year-old. Time for her to grow up. You are graciously letting her live there for free and supplying her with most of her food free of charge as well. She needs to get a grip. Reddit double standards yet again. A teen won't share his stuff with his pregnant stepmom, he's not in the wrong. Grown adult won't share her stuff and yet she's in the wrong. She wants to have her cake and eat it, so to speak, and generally sounds a bit immature, though I guess that's understandable given her age. I mean, how would it look if the next time she helps herself to some of your spaghetti, you throw a fit and start crying about her stealing your food? Maybe a calm discussion would be preferable to ultimatums, but in the end you're not the asshole. Not the asshole. Reasonable alternatives for a 22-year-old young adult that makes no contributions to the household. Not the asshole. You gave her the expectation. You didn't go 0-100 like some other commenters said. She literally has two options before she has to kfo. SMH. These kids need thicker skin. Does she put her name